spiritual growth is inevitable. The choice that we do have is how we grow. Growth can be in a proactive way, desire that is being awakened from within. And growth can come in a reactive way as different events, maybe energy of stress that is coming from the outside. Anytime that we're getting into that point of kind of we feel or think it is a point of status quo, we've done so much now, life kind of blessed us so many good things, now it's the time to rest. The universe will find its own ways to create a wake-up call. The wake-up call will not manifest in our lives as something pleasant. It might not be something that we would proactively invite into our process or would desire into our lives. But when life bringing this kind of the wake-up call, it is never, but never. This is one of the spiritual laws that the Kabbalists explain as part of the foundation of the wisdom. It will be never for a negative reason. Regardless to the way it seemed to be, regardless to the way it might feel, again, we're experiencing life from our kind of human limited perspective. So we're here to tap into something higher that exists within us. We're calling it our soul consciousness. Our soul and the consciousness within our soul is very much aware that anything that feels bad, anything that seems to be negative, the intention and the desire and the drive behind what we are going through will be always positive. Somehow, it will be always positive. But the moment that this wake-up call comes into our lives, and that kind of energy manifests as discomfort, as stress, as we mentioned, our default reaction to it is to try to find the pill, the quick fix remedy, just to take this energy out of my life. We don't like stress. We don't like being uncomfortable. There is a short video clip by my teacher, the Rav, that I prepared, 2 minutes, that I would like all of us to watch before we continuing. So please pay attention to the screen.
An illusion will always be if it's temporary. You're settling. If you're settling for less, it's illusion. Let's face up to it. Let's be realistic. There's a tremendous amount of problems. I've got a headache. I'm not fooling myself. The headache I feel. Take an aspirin. Are you fooling yourself? The answer is yes, because you're settling for less. What do you mean you're settling for less? You're settling for 10 minutes of relief rather than a permanent relief. Wherever you're settling for, it's just the opposite of the way we've been conditioned. In the absence of taking a Tylenol, let's try it once. Let's not run away. Let's confront it. You say, if you confront it, there's an immediate benefit. Immediate. And if you run away from it, if you don't confront it, you don't deal with it, then you get nowhere. Then you get nowhere.
Now, we all have at least one thing in our life that we don't confront. Confront from the place of dealing with. We all have at least one thing in our lives that maybe for 5 years, maybe for 20 years, maybe for 50 years, we try to run away, just not to deal with it. It can be something internal, it can be something regarding relationships with others, it can be regarding my relationships with the universe. So just to begin to plug in, I want you to think about one thing in your life, one thing about your life that you can recognize. Because this week you want to invite and to awaken that energy in proactive way, to create this awakening from within, to be able to deal with things in order eventually to shift them around. So first step, I want us to recognize to the best that we can, one thing in your life, about your life, that you can become clear. It is indeed something that I prefer not to deal with. I would prefer to put all my energy in other places, different things, but just this thing. Maybe I don't know how to deal with it. Maybe I tried and I failed. Maybe I don't see any hope. Maybe I don't see any way. But whatever it is that my mind is telling me, my decision is not dealing with it. So I'll give you 1 to 2 minutes just to get clear. And only if you feel comfortable and open to share it with a friend sitting next to you, so do that too. Okay, 2 minutes, please. Many of you know the ancient book of Kabbalah, the book of the Zohar, is a book that deciphers and decodes the spiritual meanings in all the biblical stories. And in this portion, in verse number 26, the Zohar writes, "V'itema dekucha berichu avi dina bevarnash bela dina, ha'itmar decha dina sharia alea devarnash." Whenever a difficult situation come on our way, whenever we face challenge in our lives, kada yi zaka'a begin rechimuta dekucha berichu. Whatever seemed to be difficult, whatever seemed to be challenging in our lives, somehow the Zohar writes that it comes from the love of the Creator towards us. There's so much love and compassion from the Creator, from the divine force point of view towards each one of us. The Creator will not allow things to happen that will not somehow will be there to move you toward your destiny and toward your purpose in your life. So even though something seemed to be bad or feel unfair, it will be there just to get you prepared for something that is greater than what you can even imagine for yourself. When something that happened that seemed to be negative, why we react in such a way? Why we jump into that conclusion, this is bad for me? Probably because we cannot recognize the intention. If this comes from the love of the Creator for me, to help me to create a new way of awakening internally, soul awakening, if this is the intention, I would embrace it. I would ask myself, what is the awakening that's supposed to come out of this experience? If there is a good reason behind it, I would not react in a negative way towards what just happened. And if I would live my life just as the little kid that cannot control their impulsive reactions, and whenever they don't get what they want, they're getting very upset. Everything in life is there for one reason, to push me to grow, to manifest my true destiny. So the first thing, the way that we're looking at anything that seems to be, again, stressful in our lives, in order truly to shift it around, we will need to understand what the Rav just explained in 2 minutes. If in the moment of the stress, I'm jumping just to the old ways of trying to find a quick fix and quick solutions just to get rid of this kind of negative feeling, I will create a condition, I will create a reality that this challenge will chase after me for my whole life, till I will realize what is the lesson, till I will realize what is it that I need to learn from it, what is it that I need to shift internally. Many times we choose not to deal, not to confront the situation, again, not to deal with the situation. So we getting back into our default state of just living robotically with whatever it is and giving ourselves the excuse, what would you expect from me, this is beyond my capability to deal with. But life will never give any of us anything that is bigger than what we can handle. In order to be able to shift that kind of energy, not to get rid of it, but to shift that kind of energy, let's go back for just a moment to the idea and the story of creation. So when we're going back into that moment of creation, infinite good, infinite power, the force of the Creator creating a vessel, which is our soul, to receive the infinite good that the Creator has to give, energy is being revealed always according to the vessel. Energy is always revealed according to the vessel. If we talk about energy in a form of wisdom, for instance, how much energy and clarity in that form can be revealed for me, it will be always according to my vessel. What is my vessel? My desire. If my desire to elevate consciousness, I have more chance to achieve elevation of consciousness than one who doesn't have desire to elevate their consciousness. Does that make sense? Simply because I have a desire, not because I'm smart, not because I'm intelligent, not because I'm talented, simply because I have a desire. If my desire is to elevate the level of the energy within my relationships, the chance that the energy within my relationships will grow is bigger than someone who lives their life robotically, waking up every morning into that relationship that they have no idea what they are doing there, maybe because of a choice they made 20 years ago, and they don't have desire to grow the energy within the relationship. The chance to grow energy in your life will be always dependent on the level of your vessel. So when I feel energy does not grow in my life, what should I check? My desire. Because the light is always being revealed according to the desire. Think about a day that you're so busy and you didn't even have the chance to take a bite. You didn't have breakfast, you didn't have lunch. Did you have such a day? Evening comes, right? Every day. You need to find a bit more balance, I would say. I would say the same thing for me, yes. So you'd come, to the time of dinner. Maybe you would schedule dinner with a friend. You go to this restaurant that you like, you order this food that you like. What is the level between 1 to 10 of your desire to eat? Let's say 10, right? Since, you didn't eat for the entire day, right? If you would have breakfast and lunch, what would be the desire to eat? 5 maybe, right? I know I should eat, not to be hungry later on. It's not kind of a necessity. I don't feel craving now, right? It is not kind of, and there is any sense of urgency about eating now, right? But if you haven't ate the entire day, you come into the dinner with, let's say, 11, 10 of desire to eat. Whatever dish that you like, you order this dish. Now you tell me, what happened by the third bite? What happened with your vessel? Shrunk. By the third bite, do you want to eat even more, or you start to feel more satisfied, so you want less? What happened by the 8th bite? Let's say that you eat steak, or if you're vegan, you eat vegetarian steak. What happened by the 8th bite? Do you want more? Not really, right? Maybe a little bit, maybe another bite, right? But it's a whole different level of desire now to interact with this kind of food. The food will be that fulfillment that I'm looking for physically, but still, right? And my desire for the food, it's my vessel. So by the 8th bite, my vessel is already being diminished. It's already going down. Already got some of the energy. What happened the moment you get what you want? The desire goes down. There is a relationship, the dating period. In the dating period, think about a date. We all went through it. Most of us went through it, right? the way we show up in a date before getting married is different than the way we're showing up to a date with our spouse after getting married. Guys, is that true or no? Why would we make so much effort to show up in our best at the time of the period of the dating, right? There's no commitment yet, right? There is a commitment, we're calling it marriage. And somehow, I don't know how long it takes, between 2 days to 2 weeks, already to get comfortable, I already have it. Why should I make an effort? When the desire goes down, there will be less effort that we make. Fulfillment comes in, desire goes down, less effort. We want to shift it around. In order to expand in life in a proactive way, we need to shift it around. We're having a desire, we're making an effort, fulfillment comes in, I want to recognize in the spot. I don't want this fulfillment to shrink my desire. I'm working hard, achieving, getting what I want to elevate in the level of my desire for it. This cannot happen naturally. It has to happen intentionally. It has to happen by me injecting consciousness into my life. At the moment that I get what I want, the natural tendency, as I mentioned, there's a spiritual law according to Kabbalah, the vessel shrinks. My desire for it is not the same. My mind will tell me, of course, I want it, but desire eventually is being measured by the level of effort. If you really want something, you'll make effort in order to get it. If you tell me you want something, and I'm asking you, what do you do in order to get it? And you tell me not much, I pray for it, I will tell you that your desire is not strong enough. You might argue with me, and that's fine. We have the right to argue, to disagree. But if we want spiritually to understand, according to this wisdom, life, when I want something, and it is not there, but something internally really want it, the level of the desire is not measured by my expression of how much do I want. True desire will move you into action. True desire will be a burning desire internally, that even in times that you have no idea what to do, this desire is burning in you. You feel sense of urgency. When I don't feel the urgency, I know that the desire is not there yet. And this is why fulfillment is not manifesting in the level that I want. Instead of chasing after that fulfillment that I want, I need to think what is missing is not a fulfillment. What is missing is desire. Another spiritual law. When the desire is there, the energy shows up. When the desire is there, the energy shows up. If I still give myself excuses of why I'm not doing certain things, that's fine. I can go through my psychological process. But if spiritually I want to understand, I need to look at the mirror and tell myself, you have to desire more. You have to desire more. One of the students of Rav Ashlag, the founder of the Kabbalah Center, once approached him with a question after Rav Ashlag spoke about this idea that everything depends on the level of the vessel of the desire. And the student came to his teacher and he told him, I understand that point, but I want things to happen, but I don't have that level of desire for it. What should I do? What should I do? If I look at myself at the mirror and I'm being honest with myself, and I'm saying this doesn't happen because I don't have real desire for it. I don't feel sense of urgency. I feel it is okay to live another day without it. I will be completely fine. I was fine till today. I will be fine tomorrow without it. if it is relationship, if it is success, if it is wisdom, if it's growth, if it is clarity, if it is whatever it is. If I feel life will be okay tomorrow without it, of course life will be okay without it. But as far as our inside view, do we feel sense of urgency? Sense of urgency has to be awakened. It is not something that happens naturally. For some of us, there will be a sense of urgency for specific things in life. But we don't talk about specific things in life. We talk about life. We talk about all the compartments of life. This is very powerful and very exciting week, because that energy of this week can assist each one of us in awakening more sense of urgency, true desire for things. So the student of Rav Ashlag told him, I don't have this desire, what can I do? So Rav Ashlag told him, pray to awaken this desire inside of you. We're praying for so many things. And if we don't calling it praying, we're wishing for so many things to happen in life. It is the same. It is the same. This is your prayers. Wishing for things to happen in life. Rav Ashlag told his student, wish that a new level of desire will be awakened in you. Because when a new level of desire is being formed, a new level of energy find a room to get revealed. This is a week to awaken a new level of desire, a new level of sense of urgency within us for things that we deep inside want. Not for things that we don't want, but there are things that deep inside we want, but somehow we don't think about it anymore. Somehow we realize that thinking about it in life, it's too painful, so maybe I should not desire it, because every time I desire it, I try to get it, I don't get it, it creates frustration, maybe I should not desire it. Who needs that pain? Nobody needs that pain, but it will be more painful to stay with this kind of void, with this empty desire, because this desire is so much imbued within each one of us that the Kabbalists explain that this desire will annoy you till the end. You will never find rest, because there is something in you that's seeking for fulfillment, and we cannot ignore it. And any time that we will ignore it, the universe will find its own ways to come in and to awaken it, to remind us there is more that you want, there is more that you deserve, there is more that wants to come to you, but this cannot come to you without you awakening that level of desire. I want to challenge you in this coming week with one little assignment. Are you ready for that? Okay. This little assignment will take you anything in between 5 to 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes to 10 minutes of each day, I want you to make them non-stimulus. Non-stimulus. How many of you, being honest with each other, sleeping with the phone next to your bed? How many of you in the first, let's say, the 10 minutes of the morning, you're opening whatever device to check out whatever? So I'm not telling you not to do it, forever. I'm just challenging you not to do it 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. And what I want you to do is, when you wake up, allow time to hear yourself before you allow the noise of the world to get into you. In those 5 minutes, you want to vision the end of the day. We're going from the end to the beginning. What is it that you want to feel about your day? What is it that you want to create in that day? So you're taking 5 to 10 minutes that allow you to get ahead of your day. Allow yourself to inject the intention about what is it that you desire from that day. What is that you want to create in that day? Allow yourself to go through this little trip. Remind yourself that being active does not mean being productive. We're all getting into our day desiring to be very active because we believe being active will get us the results that we want. Active does not mean being productive. I can work very hard during the day. If my intention for the day is not there, if my desire deep down is not awakened, I can go through the day, I can go through a week, I might go through a month or through life without even recognizing the opportunities and what could I have done at that day in order truly to get the results of what I want. So when you take this time, you look at your life and you question, what is it that needs to happen today as far as my intentions, as far as my mind, my thoughts, my interactions with myself, with other people, with the Creator? What is it that needs to happen during the day in order to get me into where I will really want to be in the end of the day? I'm not saying that we will be very successful every day in it. But again, I'm challenging you in this because I believe that if not all of you, most of you, will recognize a major difference approaching your day by taking the few minutes before, again, you let all the noise of the world to get into you, just to get in touch with something deep in you of what is it that you really want out of the day. You will realize that 5 minutes in injecting the right intention and awakening yourself, taking yourself through just a little trip, you will realize how a major difference it will make as far as your experience of the day, awakening your right and real and deep down desires about what do you want from that day. It can be meetings that you might have, projects that you might have, relationships, whatever it is that you're supposed to go through the day. 5 to 10 minutes in a day. Think is what normally I do, is it the most effective way to achieve what I want? Just ask the question. You don't know. Maybe the universe, maybe your soul will send you a signal to show you something that you could not see if you would not want to see. If everything truly depends on the level of desire, I want to start my day every day, at least to strive to start the day every day by asking questions, awakening my desire to see more, to be guided more, to awaken what is it that I truly want by the end of the day, before the end is over and I'm going to sleep and I'm waking up for another day. What is it that I want from this day? 5 to 10 minutes just dealing with expansion of the desires, bringing more intention into things, asking more questions, inviting more guide into my day, asking to get more clarity, to realize things that I didn't realize yesterday, that all of that energy that is being awakened just from that desire will manifest as energy that can guide each one of us along the day. To be able to go into the end of the day and to see that even if it's not 100% of what I wanted, but it's much more than what usually it is.